Have you ever had a conversation where you have walked away and felt completely exhausted? Most of us have. And organizations are filled with conversations every day, and rarely are they neutral. Most of our conversations are either about building connection and capacity or diminishing and depleting. And yet we don't talk about conversations. We don't tend to give attention and intention to how we're showing up in conversations, especially those difficult conversations in the workplace. The result can be devastating. So we're going to look at 3 quick questions to ask ourselves before we go into those conversations so that we can build resiliency, relevancy, and relationship. My dad was a carpenter. He had a tool for almost everything. The idea was tools were either used in projects to build or to demolish. Our conversations are tools. We can either build with that tool or we can demolish and diminish. One of the things that I found is that when we explore how we show up in conversations with intention, it changes the outcome, because this is the truth of the matter. We can change the direction by one conversation. So here are 3 quick questions to ask yourself before you go into a challenging or maybe difficult conversation in the workplace. 1, am I building resiliency? Am I showing up with my words, tone, body posture in a way that the others feel safe and they know that they can trust me? 2nd, am I focused on what's relevant? Am I speaking to the direct need, issue, or behavior, or am I just kind of hoping that they get it or assuming that they should get it and yet not speaking directly to it, creating confusion and chaos versus clarity? And then 3rd, am I about building relationship? Am I focusing on team over the task, people over the problem? Because what I've learned in my years of consulting and coaching is that when you and I tend to the team, when we tend to the relationships and building a strong workplace culture, what happens is the task takes care of itself. Bob Chapman of Barry Waymiller Manufacturing stated, how we lead impacts how people live. I'm going to say that again. How we lead impacts how people live. What Bob meant by that is that how you and I lead and show up in our conversations impact how the employees go home to their families. We also know that employers have a greater impact on employees' health and well-being than their own healthcare providers. So we need to start making this connection that the conversations that we have are having impact whether we realize it or not. So the question for you and I is, do we want to give intention and attention to creating conversations that are going to build connection and capacity, or are we going to settle for whatever is default mode? If you're ready to take that step and create a conversation to explore what workplace culture could be, can be, and how to create conversations that are really worth having, those conversations that matter, that are going to create and build resiliency, relevancy, and relationship, reach out and let's start with a conversation. This might be that one conversation that changes the direction and outcome for your organization and your team in ways that you could have never imagined.